Gholdengo is an all-new Pokemon released in Generation 9 that has been perhaps the most central Pokemon in the Gen 9 OU metagame. Although it doesn't have the highest usage in Gen 9, it is the Pokemon to beat. Gholdengo's new ability, Good as Gold, is one of the most powerful abilities Pokemon has ever seen. This ability makes Gholdengo immune to all status moves. This is the first ability ever to be able to block defog from taking place, making Gholdengo an incredible Pokemon against hazard removal, with its immunity to both Rapid Spin and defog. Gholdengo has plenty of strong qualities on top of this too, with its excellent typing, great special attack stat, the powerful new signature move Make It Rain, and the general utility of being completely immune to status moves. Gen 9 competitive singles has been full of some pretty absurd power creep and imbalance, but I think that Gholdengo is actually a good example of a powerful new Pokemon that is at just the right level. It's strong, but not in a way that is completely overbearing and impossible to respond to, like some of these other threats we've seen. Let's take a look at why I consider Gholdengo to be an example of power creep done right. But first, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel to make sure that the new Paradox future form of Spoink, Iron Fellow, doesn't get up to any more trouble. 60.5% of you watching right now are not subscribed, which is quite concerning. Thank you. Every competitive singles format is going to have a handful of Pokemon that rise to the top of viability and usage, and this can happen for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes this is because of their inherent offensive power and high damage output. Sometimes it's because of versatility, defensive value, strong utility options. Whatever it may be, the health of a metagame really depends on these Pokemon and the strategies that form around them. So far in Gen 9, we've seen many Pokemon rise to the top and become centralizing threats in ways that are unhealthy, such as Chi-Yu, who rose to the top because it did a lot of stab damage. This is the kind of Pokemon that leads to many teams starting to look the same. It's a Pokemon so inherently powerful that most teams need to use it, and it's so inherently powerful that a response to it is mandatory to not lose to it. If the responses to this threat are extremely limited, this becomes even worse. The powerful threat and the limited responses to it rise in usage massively, and the metagame becomes stale very quickly. Team structures begin to look the same, and variety goes out the window. The dream for a Pokemon metagame is when the top offensive threats have a variety of different ways to be responded to, and the threats and responses are pretty evenly matched in power level. When this is the case, team building is much more fun and interesting. Your options aren't as restricted, and there are multiple different ways that you can equip yourself to handle the metagame. If the top threats of a metagame are too powerful, not only does team variety suffer, the quality of gameplay also suffers. Games start to depend on the same interactions every single time, like the Dracovish Seismitoad interaction back in Gen 8. When the top threats are at a reasonable power level, you start to see different combinations of Pokemon in each game, and the gameplay becomes more fun and dynamic. Your plan changes based on each matchup, and it's just a more enjoyable experience for everyone. Gen 9 OU so far has struggled to reach this point. Even after so many centralizing threats have already been banned, the metagame still has a lot of issues. But I think that Gholdengo in particular is a positive presence in the metagame, and an example of a top threat that is at a good power level. While Good as Gold is a uniquely strong ability, it isn't really direct and obvious power creep in the same way as something like Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao has the exact same typing and role of fast physical threat as the Pokemon Weavile, but with superior stats and a superior move pool, completely outclassing it. But Good as Gold is not actually directly superior to other anti-status abilities that already exist, like Magic Bounce or Magic Guard. Magic Bounce has the benefit of being able to bounce back hazards and other detrimental effects, which Good as Gold does not. Magic Guard is not in the game yet, but when it does return, it will have many benefits over Good as Gold, such as providing an immunity to hazard damage, the damage from status effects, and also the damage from effects like Salt Cure. Even the new ability Purifying Salt provides a complete immunity to status effects, including ones that are applied from the secondary effects of moves such as Lava Plume. Good as Gold does not provide this. And Good as Gold has value over all of these abilities too, by providing a team with a form of counterplay against defog. Rather than completely outclassing other Pokemon with similar abilities, this is a unique new mechanic that provides something we've never had before. Gholdengo is an enabler for hazard stacking strategies and a point of defense against status users. While its special attack and damage output are good, it's far from too overwhelming. There are plenty of ways to respond to and directly threaten Gholdengo in the Gen 9 metagame that aren't too specific or limited. The most common Pokemon in the game, Great Tusk, is able to outspeed and one-hit KO Gholdengo with Headlong Rush if it's using an offensive set. Great Tusk also has access to Rapid Spin. The fact that Gen 9's most popular hazard remover matches up so well against Gholdengo really prevents the defog and spin blocking provided by Gholdengo from being too much to handle. Gholdengo can also be baited in quite easily. If you have a Corviknight in and they have hazards up, they'll likely switch straight to Gholdengo to prevent the defog. This can allow you to use U-turn, potentially popping their air balloon if they have it, and allowing you to pivot into something that threatens them. A Mugulis can also bait in Gholdengo by threatening to Spore. You can get some chip damage against them by using Foul Play, and in the process learn more about their set. Gholdengo can be a punishable pressure point that you can bait in and eliminate quite easily. A lot of these interactions surrounding Gholdengo do involve the same couple of Pokemon, but that's more because of a lack of options in Gen 9 OU right now, rather than Gholdengo being too centralizing of a force. Corviknight is currently the only relevant defogger in OU, and the only rapid spinners are Great Tusk and Iron Treads, maybe Torkoal. Once more Pokemon become available after home and DLC releases, I'm sure we'll start to see more ways to build around Gholdengo, and to punish Gholdengo. Although Gholdengo is one of the most powerful new Pokemon in Gen 9, it's at least powerful in a way that's new, and is creating new ways to play and think about the game that we haven't seen before, which I think will serve to give Gen 9 OU some identity down the road, and make it stand out among other formats. What do you think of Gholdengo? Do you enjoy its presence in the metagame, or do you prefer a time where defog was a safe click? What would you like me to talk about next? Let me know down below in the comments, and thank you for watching. This video was requested by Tier 2 patron Gholdengo. Yes, Gholdengo himself has commissioned this video using some of his Gimmighoul coins, perhaps as a publicity stunt. I would like to ensure the viewers at home that I have no bias towards Gholdengo, and these are all my honest thoughts. Thank you to the rest of the patrons as well. Become a Tier 2 patron to request a Pokemon for me to cover in a short, informative video, just like this one, and to appear on this excellent end screen, alongside your favorite Pokemon.
The money got different, cause of what I'm spending. The money got different,
oh, it's
cause of what I'm
Megaphone!
spending.
Whoa,
The money
KO'd
got
by one
different,
hit! It
cause
scattered
of what I'm
spikes!
spending. The money got different, cause of what I'm spending. The money nothing to me. To me it's like paper and cheese.